and the cam's got all messed up. Very nice. What a start. What a start. Welcome to the most scuffed everything ever on the internet. It is D.VA 8 My Podcast. We are here alongside Airborne, Ocean, and Knight Rider, bringing you the random things from our brains. Knight Rider, what do we got in store for the people?
So since this is on stream, this is very, very, very difficult for me to say. So, something even bigger than Sinatra retiring is me saying that Ocean was right.
Valid.
So, it pains me so extremely much to say that Ocean was right. But in fact, Sinatra has retired. He has done with the San Francisco Shock.
He's done with Overwatch.
And decided to play other video games. He's done with Overwatch. He's going to Valorant.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
Going to the Sentinels.
Yeah. It's going to the Sentinels.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
That's the rumor. He's going to the
like
Sentinels.
Gladiators.
I know.
No, well,
it's crazy.
It's not a rumor anymore. The Sentinels are nicer.
But, all right, so, but here's the thing: is Ocean? Do you think he's going to the Sentinels?
No, well, he is. It's announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already announced it.
It's announced.
They already announced.
I mean, I at the time I thought maybe Sentinels. They like to pick up big players and not much fault behind them. But I went with 100 Thieves. Yeah, 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves at the time, just as a guess. But yeah.
That's very Irish of you. Thieves.
Yeah. Leave me alone. Also, I again like to discreetly say I am not Irish. I am British. Thank you.
British.
I'm just saying it was very Irish of you.
I may have secret Irish traits, but I don't know.
Probably.
But yeah, the rule there is because he retired from Overwatch League, he cannot join any team that owns an Overwatch League team. So I mean, there was thought that he might go.
It's very handy that Sentinels did drop out of the Los Angeles Gladiators, and it's only owned by a Concave Group now.
Yeah, but that's why it was originally rumored
handy.
he would go to NRG or something, but no, can't do that.
Yeah,
but
that sucks, man.
So the impact
really
of Sinatra leaving
such
on San Francisco. Do we think this is gonna? Are we gonna notice this in the battlefield? I mean, one thing we were talking about before we went live.
I feel like we already have noticed it.
Yeah.
I feel like the worst has passed.
You think the worst is past? What?
Yeah.
I think they knew that Sinatra was leaving beforehand. Like they.
Yeah, Sinatra's technically already left. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he left weeks ago.
Weeks ago, he left. And we saw that impact when they played Los Angeles Valiant and the Los Angeles Gladiators, and they looked shit. They just looked jack shit. But I feel like the worst has passed, and they improved recently. I feel like, as I was saying, they have a lot of born leaders. Before the podcast was saying, they have a lot of leaders on their team who can step up. Rascal, Maul, and Super, I think, can all step up and become leaders on this team, and I think they will go back to their former glory. It will just take a little bit more time.
I personally don't. I personally think wouldn't be surprised if Sinatra stays around the house, because I doubt that Sinatra is going to be going to a gaming house for Valorant or Sentinels anytime soon, especially with coronavirus.
Yeah,
I mean, you think the league is going to allow that? They're just going to let Sinatra hang out with the San Francisco Shock and continue to lead behind the scenes, even though he's retired from the game?
That's allowed, yeah. Well, they can't stop. They can't stop. They can't really go to the house and say you're not allowed to be here. Pack your bags
and with coronavirus. I mean, with the circumstances that it's under, I wouldn't be surprised if he's still at the house, like just playing Valorant, and just
I mean, with his contract,
he's
obviously owns another house.
So
he's like sitting in on scrims. He's just playing a different game.
Yeah.
So here's one thing though, is that like if he's doing that in the house, maybe other people are gonna be like, that actually does sound like a good idea, and then slowly converting people. So I don't know if they're gonna really like let that happen.
I don't see that happening. I think that's
he's been playing Valorant for weeks now.
The Shock can.
Yeah.
You don't think the Shock are upset about this? You don't think Krusty is upset about this? Like, he publicly can't come out and say he's fucking pissed off at Sinatra. They gotta come out and tweet that they're supportive.
Did you see?
No, here's my thing though. But they probably prepared for this for a while. Well, okay, actually, this is a weird thing. So based on Sinatra's statement, they've been sort of prepared for it after week 1.
No, but they also leaked it, and Sinatra wasn't ready for it. I mean,
Yeah, he was just
Yeah.
like, I guess it's out now.
Well, no,
Yeah.
well, Slasher leaked it, and then Shock were like, well, we gotta
and
say
then Shock
something.
had to make an announcement. Yeah, fair enough.
And then Sentinels were like, well, now we have to say something, you know?
Yeah, basically everyone got screwed by the announcement. Everyone was not prepared.
Which,
Everyone was just like,
which I don't know why people are crediting Slasher with these leaks. I was right here with the announcement a couple of weeks ago. I don't
A couple
understand.
weeks ago, it was more like a month ago. You
Ocean
were
Leaks.
Well,
like-
actually, it was a while ago, yeah.
Ocean Leaks.
Ocean Leaks, man.
Oceanleaks.com.
That's kind of
It's not the first time.
insane.
It's not the first time. I did say that Cox's transfer to the Soul Dynasty in season 1 would get cancelled, and I was correct.
Okay.
I mean, so you're averaging one a year?
One every other year.
One every other year.
In season 1, I got something right, and in season 3, I've got something right.
Especially in 2020, you getting one right. That's pretty incredible the way that this year's been turning out.
hey, one a year will still get you money because there's a lot of people listening.
I know,
really should have
right?
put a bet on Sinatra leaving Overwatch at the start of the season.
Here's the thing that I'm saying right now. Would anyone be surprised if Sinatra came back to Overwatch?
Yeah.
No. I wouldn't be surprised.
Why?
I wouldn't be
he's-
surprised either.
He's done.
I would not be surprised. Not okay. It depends. How long are we talking there? Are we talking 2 years?
Once Overwatch 2
Cheers.
comes out, I think would be, let's say Overwatch 2 comes out, it has.
Oh no, he's not. He's not going to come back for Overwatch 2. That's not feasible.
So,
I think you'll buy the game and maybe
so
play it a
season
little
4 would be Overwatch 2, looking at what we've got.
bit. No,
What's
he will
up,
not
Gina?
be in Overwatch like season 4. He
Yeah,
will not be in
that
Overwatch.
would surprise the hell out of me. So season 5, season 6?
The closest
I'm like he's
season
still probably,
6 would be more realistic. Season 5, mid-season. There
like,
you
he's
go.
still like here's the thing. Privately, he's still probably going to play Overwatch.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah, I think
He's playing 12 hours of Valorant a day.
Yeah, I think he's done. I mean,
Yeah.
Leg Day was talking about it, tweeted about it, that he didn't retire from Overwatch, he completed Overwatch.
I hated that tweet. I hate that tweet. I'm gonna tell you that I hate that tweet.
It's meant with a
What?
sense of humor. Come on, it's Leg Day. He's got that. There's some
Okay, yeah,
snarkiness involved there. It's not meant to be taken 100% seriously. It's Leg
I
Day.
don't like the mindset because of okay. I hate the majority of Overwatch League fans because they all are a bit silly. It's like, oh, it's not just nothing else to do in Overwatch. That's why. Talk about Faker in League of Legends. He hasn't left League of Legends because he's done it. He's been the best player for years.
No, it was definitely some snarkiness involved.
From that, yes, but I'm talking about the majority of Overwatch League fans are legitimately coming and saying, "Oh, we have nothing else left to do in Overwatch." When again, prove it. You know, like because that is
You
not.
know, yeah, in traditional sports, that the top legends, your Michael Jordans, your I
They
hate
don't
to use
switch
his name, but your
sports
Tom
because they're the
Brady's.
best.
Like, yeah, you don't win one Super Bowl or one championship and then retire. Like they,
Yeah, it's not what
aforementioned
happens.
Faker.
Yeah.
a faker. You go in, you create a dynasty by winning over and over and over again, and that's what they were talking about with the
proved that
Shock
you
coming
were
into
the-
season 3. Was this is going to be a dynasty? This is going to be a team that could potentially win 3 seasons in a row, and
Yeah.
I mean really cement themselves as the best org in the existence of Overwatch League. And I don't think that's in
here's
the
the
conversation
interesting thing.
anymore.
No.
I think it is because I feel like they did prepare for this because they picked up almonds for whatever fucking reason.
And I mean, which is weird because their DPS lineup, even without Sinatra, is nuts.
Striker,
Yeah, what Striker and
Rascal,
Architect,
Ons,
Striker, right,
and
Rascal
Architect.
Architect as a trio.
Yes,
Oh my
exactly,
God.
exactly.
Striker, Rascal, Architect.
Whew.
But
And people still rate Western players apart from Sinatra. What? Oh, not sure.
yeah, but you
Well, in the
are
background, it's a bit quiet.
talking about one of the most amazing stories out of Overwatch League because of what happened with season 1. He was picked up before he was 18 at the highest salary that's ever been leaked for Overwatch League. Now it is rumored that there are more people making more money than he was now, but especially at the time,
Okay,
he was leaked to have the highest
season
salary.
Season 1, he had the highest salary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Urster had the highest in season 2 league that we know of, with 325 grand.
But don't derail me. I'm trying to make a
Sorry.
point here.
Let him finish.
But it's the anime arc. But he was also known as one of the most toxic people And it showed there was no team cohesion once he started playing. Like, there seemed to be zero cohesion. And then comes back and acknowledges that in the offseason between season 1 and season 2. Works hard to build the leadership qualities, to work with his management. They build the current roster together between Krusty and Sinatra. Comes out, not only do they have just, the phenomenal year, they put together the first ever golden stage where they don't drop a single map for a stage, which isn't a thing anymore because we don't have stages. They, win, two? Did they win 2 stage titles?
Stage 2 and Stage 3? No, they're Stage 2. No, they won 1.
One, because Vancouver won the first one. That's right. Vancouver won the
Shanghai
first one.
Won the first.
Shog won second. Shanghai won the third. And there isn't a fourth. Right.
Yeah.
So they win a stage title. Obviously, they win the grand finals. He goes on to win gold with World Cup for the first ever time for the USA, and he gets MVP, all in season 2.
I don't think he was in regular season.
That's debatable.
In playoffs, yes. Regular season, I mean, Vancouver Titans finished 25-3.
I mean, it's debatable.
And also, Choyobin is also a candidate. And don't tell me.
Who just looks like a giant feeder nowadays. I hate to say it, but I don't know. I think we are seeing the impact already, and I don't think the worst is behind them. I think it's going to take them time, and I think they're going to remain middle of the pack. And I think it's why suddenly Shock look uncoordinated, and they're not attacking together, and they are, if 1 or 2 people go in, you're feeding. If the whole team goes in, it's a strategy. And right now, Shock are feeding on their attacks because they're disjointed, and I mean, they do not look championship caliber in the slightest. And I think that's where it's that storyline. It's losing that big story arc, to me, is the biggest impact. And it's not good for the league. Clearly, it's not good for the league.
Well,
the league needs faces. I mean, him and Super going on Jimmy Fallon in front of the whole nation, in front of a bunch of people. The most people who are going to watch Jimmy Fallon are not Overwatch League fans. They're not, this is going to the general American public, and his face is up there as the face of Overwatch. And promoting, what they do and making and legitimizing what we all do in esports. And then he just bails.
My thing with this is enough about a shock for me. This is a big hit to Western Overwatch.
Huge. It's a huge hit to Western Overwatch.
Huge hit, because you're talking about players who could maybe make an All-Star, All-Star 6. I don't think there's a single Western player that gets in. Maybe Space?
Yeah, Space.
Space.
Maybe Space and maybe Moth.
I'll give you Moth. I'll give you Moth. No,
maybe Space, maybe Moth. But I don't think anyone else would.
Specific points.
Corey?
If they actually are able to turn the season around.
No, not Corey anymore. Not Corey anymore. Sorry, kid.
Corey has to turn the season around.
Yeah, but that's... Again, I mean, it's talking about individual performance. I mean, I still rate Happy as one of the best DPS, despite the fact that Charge can't seem to get their act together this year. And I think a similar story with Corey. I think Corey is still a top-notch DPS. I mean, he can absolutely carry, but Justice just cannot seem to get their act together.
I actually think a lot of individuals on the Justice have been performing well, though. Individual. I think Art still had an okay year.
Yeah.
Individually.
And Justice is one of those teams we haven't seen a whole lot out of, right? How many games have they played?
They played 11.
Oh, they have played 11. Okay, that's more than I thought.
11 games.
That's more than I thought.
Yeah, no. The Justice have lost to the Fusion multiple times. They lost to the Eternal. They lost to the Rain, and they lost to the Fuel.
Yeah, and we play them again this weekend, don't we?
Yes.
Fuel play them again this weekend.
It's Fuel Justice Saturday at 2 p.m.
There you go.
On YouTube Gaming.
Nice
but
plug.
yeah, no, like Moth and Space are the only people you can even consider from the Western scene for an All-Star 6. Consider.
I think Corey is a consideration. Whether you acknowledge that he belongs on there or not, to say that you wouldn't even consider Corey is a mistake.
Sorry. Erster, Haxel, Fleta, Lip, Doha, Decay. Do I need to keep going on? Striker, Ons, Architects, Rascal.
Yeah, no, you can list names. You can list names all you want. I mean, I still, I don't think that's necessarily a true statement. I think you put If you go 1v1s with any of those, I think Corey absolutely wins a bunch of those.
But you're talking about
there
almost
are
our
plenty
states.
of American players that I think could easily be top tier. Either their team hasn't put it together, or they themselves are underperforming.
And no one's arguing that the majority of fantastic players are coming out of Korea. Like, I don't think anybody's arguing that fact. But I'm just saying Corey still belongs in that conversation.
If you're going 2-9 in Overwatch League and you don't even look like the best DPS on your team this season, I don't think so.
You have a couple of other DPS that
look better than Corey.
are popping off, but the team is underperforming. And I hate to say it, I'm an Atlanta Reign fan. D.VA has been unbelievable any map he's been on.
Yeah.
Can I quickly make fun of the Atlanta Reign fans about Edison was looking for your potential because
hey, I'm an Atlanta Reign fan, and I said they were going to be around 6 or 7, and I did not think that
they're probably going to be it.
We have an interesting question in chat coming from Munch and Carrot. Do you think with Sinatra gone, Shock will go full Korean? So who are their current Korean players?
Wait, okay, the current they got Rascal, Architect, Choyobin,
and Striker. Correct.
And Violet. Sorry, Violet.
Yeah.
That's 5 already.
But Violet hasn't been starting, right?
No, he has now.
Yeah,
He has been now. Okay, yeah, they have. I guess
they
got.
started an Architect, but our Architect's back on DPS and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I think when I bet you that's actually when the move happened. Is we started seeing Architect back on DPS and off of that honor roll. I bet you that's when they found out about Sinatra. Just throwing that out there.
But the thing is, you'd have to drop arguably 2 of the better players on the team as well. You'd have to drop
Super and Moth.
If you
Super
went
and
all
Moth.
Korean, there's no Super and Moth.
okay, well, if you're dropping Super Moth, but you're able to go and get like IDK, for example, then that might be worth.
I don't think I love IDK. I don't think he's better than Moth.
No, there was someone like IDK because you're not going to get Lee Jeng going off of Shanghai. It's not happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you could go and get Kaiser or Bumper to replace Super, then if you can't make those
goes from the freaking Vancouver Titans.
Bumper on the Shock would actually make a lot of sense.
so if they did all, if they could go all Korean, if they could pick up those players.
If they could go all Korean, let's say Moth and Super decide to not stay on the roster. What teams do Super and Moth go to? That benefits them and the team they go to.
Probably Dallas.
Imagine Dallas getting Super and Moth.
Now, what? No, I don't even think that was his biggest problem, though.
No, actually, our support line is our strongest suit right now.
Yeah, no.
Closer and Crimzo looked really good over the weekend.
Imagine Moth.
Let's say Super goes over to. Give me a second.
Moth can go to any team and be an improvement. I agree with that, Carrot. Also, Super to Defiant? That's not a bad pick. Super to Toronto would be pretty awesome, actually.
Super to Toronto would be good.
Yeah.
I would say this.
That would be a major level up.
Super to Atlanta, maybe. I think he could probably compete with Pokpo.
Yeah.
Hawkpo is a better Winston than Super, but I think Super's a better Reinhardt.
Is a better Reinhardt, yeah.
Yes, that's a Super Atlanta.
But the thing is, Atlanta likes running the double shield a lot.
They're best at the Rhino-Rissa one. So.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. And, I mean, Super's Orisa is kind of... It doesn't stand out to me.
Then run him on the Reinhardt. You're running Rhino-Rissa.
Yeah.
LA Gladiators, maybe?
I can see LA Gladiators.
I really like the OG space lineup. I think that's a pretty cool tank
lineup. Why I said
maybe. I don't think Super's a better main tank than OG. I think OG just needs to grow some confidence and find his rhythm with the team. I think Gladiators are just going to continue to look better and better as the season goes on.
What about, here's another oddball show. This is a very oddball show. What about Bong Show for Super?
But there's no, I mean, I guess it could work.
Neptune and Nero.
I mean, they have Neptune and Nero. No, that's kind of, I initially was like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, it's awful, right?
He'd go to Boston. No.
Super to Philly, lol. That's a big lol.
Oh, no. Carrot, you can leave right now. Carrot, you can leave.
Wait, why is that such...
No. I hate Philly. I can't stand.
So what?
Philly.
This isn't about what teams you like or don't like. It's about whether Super
I
would
know.
be a
But
good
imagine
fit.
Super going to the Philadelphia Fusion with how good Sato has been playing. Sato has had obvious mistakes still. You put Super in there who makes big plays on his own on a super team, on a team like Philadelphia who's already basically getting carried by their supports, that team becomes terrifying.
I think their tank lineup is their weakest spot. I think Philly's tank lineup is definitely their weakest spot.
I mean their main tank lineup, because I only have one main tank. Their off tanks are Poco and Fury.
Yeah.
Here's my thing though.
And Fury is about as good as it gets in the off tank role. I think Fury is off tank of the year so far.
Well, Fury hasn't been playing.
Yeah.
So
they've been
going back and forth.
Poco,
and I think they look a lot better with Fury than they do with Poco.
Fury played the first map, and then Poco played the last two.
Yeah, fair enough.
So my focus on multiplayer time.
And Carrot makes a good point. Super is from Philly, and he's always wearing Philly shirts, and I think Super would kill to go to Philadelphia. I think that's actually not a bad move.
Here's my thing, with the Super Mods, Daily Show, a lot of the top teams in the league are all Korean.
Yeah, but that's in any esport. That's just.
Yeah, but it's gonna be very difficult for those Western players to find a home in a Korean environment, in a top team environment.
Philadelphia's a mixed roster.
Yeah, Philly has a mixed roster.
Well, here's a question.
They're the number one team in the league.
Who's better, Funny Astro or Moth?
Funny Astro or Moth?
Oh, that's hard.
That's actually a tough call. Yeah.
You're talking arguing between 1 and 2, or at least minimum 3.
In Western then sports, yes.
Ava says in chat, I don't think Guangzhou would get rid of Rio. I agree with that as well.
No, what I'm saying, these are all theoretical points.
Of course. This is pure speculation. It's fun to speculate.
But it's just let's look at the top teams that are not a completely Korean roster. You got Philly at number 1, then Atlanta at number 7, Paris at number 8, and then you have to go all the way down to the Gladiators at number 11, then Defiant, and then you have to go to 14 for the Dallas Fuel.
Yikes. It's very difficult for Western players to find a home. Jesus.
Oh wait, I just glazed over the San Francisco shock. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think you skipped somebody. I was just about to say.
You got 1, 5, 7, 8, 11, and 14, and 12.
Here's another thing that is interesting. We don't expect any expansion teams. We don't, right? We think that's out of matter because of the coronavirus.
Are we not? I heard rumors they were thinking about adding a couple teams.
Well, no. I feel like they were thinking about it, but I don't think that's in the window anymore because of the coronavirus.
But then the coronavirus happened. Yeah, fair enough.
But if we were, let's think about players that could be available, and if you had an expansion team, who would be Super Moth would probably be it for Western players, because
if
players who would be
a
available.
Western expansion team from players that were either casted away from their team, so a San Francisco Shock,
Super and Moth, potentially.
Super and Moth would be top of my list if I was that expansion team.
You have to think about players that might get chucked out, like Super and Moth. And if you're making a Western expansion,
I think Philadelphia is not going to be able to keep one of Fury or Poco after the season.
I
think they'll keep them both.
You think?
I think they'll both be in long. I think Philadelphia tend to have 2-year contracts on their players, and I think Carpe's contract until 2022. So longer contract on players.
Anyone on the Boston Uprising?
No, we wouldn't take anyone off the Boston Uprising. Oh shit!
I mean, I would take Neonbomb.
I would.
We're talking about
also, and
Western
just
players,
looking at the rosters.
You said I wouldn't take it.
I would try and take someone from Atlanta Reigns roster because they have a full 12-man roster. So.
Yeah, you have to find someone. But
if you had to take someone from the Atlanta Reign.
Well, I mean, I could see Edison getting traded.
I could see Edison getting traded. I could see Kodak going somewhere else. I can also see Dog
going
somewhere else.
Kodak is an underrated bloody player.
He is. He just has no playtime whatsoever.
Yeah.
And especially that Atlanta Academy doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. I think he's good.
But you could literally probably pry Edison and Kodak from Atlanta Reign for the
Can,
right price.
can we take a moment and just a giant F in chat for Team Envy? Speaking of T2,
Oh,
like just a giant F in chat for T2.
It is a bit shit, but the only academy team is the Boston Uprising. So if you want to be on a Western Academy team, you might be going to Boston. Like, oof. No, thank you.
That's anyway. Sorry.
My
I
only
was
thing-
I was
my
still
only
just
thing
like
that's
crying
crazy-
in my head for Team Envy.
you just thought about it and you were just like, oh.
Oh, sad
But The
face.
thing is that I think is hilarious is the freaking Philadelphia Fusion has such a good support line that you forget Boombax is just sitting on the bench.
Oh yeah, Boombox. There we go. Forgot about Boombox.
Boombax hasn't gotten a game in since
There's
like
one.
the first week.
There's one who'll probably get traded too. I mean, he's too good a player to just be happy sitting on the bench.
I mean,
don't-
we talk about
Legitimately,
like
Boombox,
people.
I think, played the
he's
first game
underrated.
of the season.
Yeah.
Boombox played the first game
No,
of the
and he
season,
played against
and then Buddy
Atlanta
Asher
last week.
took it.
He also played against Atlanta recently. Not the
Okay.
last series against Atlanta, but before he played 2 months, he played with Baptiste.
Hmm.
So my interesting take on all of this was just Boombox. In particular, Boombox was probably one of the pioneers of Zenyatta.
Mhm.
I would say he's one of the pioneers of Zenyatta, so that's a little bit of a hot take, not really. And then in season 1, very underrated player, Boombox. Like Boombox is a feeder on the Fusion, but like they made finals, and
No,
he
Cruz is a feeder. Get it right now. I'm joking.
Cruz is
Cruz is a feeder.
Does Raucus retire or leave the Houston Outlaws to try and get on another team?
Oh God, don't say such things.
I mean, Raucus is nowhere near as good as Val, so I don't want to hear it.
Like it's been Jexay and Repel for the past couple of weeks.
I know.
And
I
Repel
know.
is
I started winning from them.
Repel looks really good.
Repel is
I
very
know he
good.
does.
Repel looks
Blase
really
Nano
good.
Fist.
Blase's
The
Doomfist
Blase
was
Nano Fist.
scary. I think it's the only character he looks scary
I already
on.
lost Jake. I lost Jake. I
At
don't need
least
to
Jake is still
lose
there.
Rockets.
At least Jake is still
I
there.
know. I know.
You should have seen when freaking Houston feeded when they just hard fed on one of the maps. You should have seen Jake's defeated face after the map.
Oh yeah, was that after Oasis Uni?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, very
after they
last
lost to Dallas, and Jake was just like,
Oh boy!
Well, they were up 99-0. They literally needed one fight win to take the entire match, and Dallas brought it all the way back. Oh, it was so good.
and Jake's just
It was
We don't need
so
to talk
good.
about that.
It was so good.
No.
I was screaming my head off. It was
Also
so
pop-
good.
off. It was
Let-
hilarious.
Let's go to my favorite section of my Overwatch League, which is pick our next. Everyone picks a match of the week. You can't copy someone else. Everyone picks a match of the week.
Match of the
Score
week.
it.
Match of the
What
week.
are our
Match of the
matchups this week? What are our matchups
I
this week?
sent it earlier in chat. Scroll up.
Let's.
I am going to pick before all of you because I am picking mine first because the Shanghai Dragons take on the New York Excelsior.
Well, you're
Probably
just gonna
the
take
more-
the obvious. Like that's.
Exactly.
I don't think
All
anybody
right,
can
so
argue
we
that's
are
match of
in
the week.
week-
Okay,
13?
We are in week 13.
sorry, but I usually take an all ball one, and it's my turn to pick a always one.
You
Shanghai
pick
Dragon.
first all the time.
No, I usually
I-
you'll pick first, and I usually pick a weird one.
New York Excelsior to
So
the Shanghai
versus-
Dragon.
I am Shanghai
Ooh,
Dragon.
okay, I got mine.
Shanghai versus MIXL because both are top 4 teams, and one of the teams might get exposed this weekend, like Solaris we did last weekend.
Okay. I'm choosing Houston Outlaws versus Shock.
Of course you are.
No.
Houston Outlaws versus Shock.
Okay. Listen. The reason being is because this is Shock without Sinatra.
Yeah, but
So,
Without Sinatra for a
But didn't
couple
Dallas also lose?
I
to Shock
understand,
without
but
Sinatra?
now he's gone completely. Now he's gone
Barely?
completely. He doesn't have a
Barely.
locker room presence anymore. So I'm interested to see if anything actually does change or not.
We've already
And
seen
also,
stuff
they
change.
can just hard ride Blase's Doomfist and hope that they have no
yeah.
counter.
Hope they can keep
Like they
Repel
have.
alive long enough to make the impact.
Just put more
So-
on Regina.
Like literally,
Just
the
put
one
more
mistake
on
he
Regina.
made was trying to nano Muma instead of nanoing Blase.
I think that was an accident. There was one.
My
I disagree with this completely
if we
because
are
Chow
choosing-
are a lot better than the
if
other
we're
one.
not allowed to choose the same match, I personally am going to choose the Atlanta Reign versus the LA Valiant.
I like
Of
that.
course you are.
No, this is a good. No, this is
It's
actually a
not
pit.
because
No,
Unlike
it's actually
yours,
I
Ryder.
was gonna do either that or the rematch between Philly and Paris.
That's gonna be
because
mine.
Each game. Oh yeah, because I figured that was gonna be someone else's because Philly and Paris rematch and each of those games have gone 3-2.
Right. They've played each other twice. Each map's gone 3-2, and they're 1-1 on the season against each other. Sorry, my dog has got a hairball.
Yeah. Right now, I want the Atlanta Reign. Either LA Valiant is going to solidify themselves as a mid-tier team and show that Atlanta is not top 5 material. Because the only teams that Atlanta has truly lost to are a bad game against Paris and Philadelphia.
And Philly are the only people to take a match off of Philly so far. So Paris. Paris is the only team to take a match off of Philly so far. Yeah.
So like,
Philly
Reigns
beat
losses in the
Philly.
Philly's the only team that can beat Philly. That's
Wasn't that like Atlanta a few years ago? It was like the only or last season. It was,
I've only been in like.
I'm okay.
So
okay.
long
I'm
ago.
old. I've got senile. I'm senile. I don't know what I'm talking about. But when Atlanta was in the stage playoffs and then they like hard through, it was bad. Like they just like beat themselves.
Oh yeah.
It was awful.
Like Atlanta will immediately go from almost beating the Overwatch League champions to losing 3-0 to a team that gets destroyed by NYXL. Yeah, welcome to being an Atlanta fan.
I'm loving life as a Shanghai fan, to be honest.
Atlanta's only 3 losses are to Paris and 2 games to Philly. That's it.
Yeah.
No, and that's I think
Shanghai's only lost to Chengdu.
the third matchup between Philly and Paris will be good. I think Paris is going to come back in with a chip on their shoulder. They have shown some inconsistencies, but they have been able to beat some top tier teams.
My deal with
Valiant,
Paris and their consistencies isn't controlled though. Like they've lost what? They lost Hip because he retired.
They did lose Hip.
They lost Spec to the coronavirus and a heart surgery, so that was unfortunate one. And they also lost Z to back problems, and they also don't have Sparkle yet. And they also didn't have Holman for the first 2 games of the season.
The thing is, I don't know how they're going to perform because they just lost 3-0 to the Florida Mayhem.
Well, I mean, if you're losing 2 players due to basically injuries and a stupid fucking virus, right? It's just unlucky. You also lose a player retirement and 1 player to underage.
They're currently sitting number 8 in the rankings at 5 and 4. I mean, that's not.
One right below them is the Florida Mayhem.
I was going to say the Florida Mayhem stocks are going up.
Here's the thing. I called this when they lost 3-0 to Atlanta because everyone was just like, "Oh, it was a 3-0." I'm just like, that game was close.
Right.
Like that was.
Didn't they also lose Exy? Right? Isn't Exy out as well?
Yeah. So say that's Z. Is what we're saying.
Oh, Z.
He's away. Back injury.
Yeah.
He's back in Korea.
That's the big loss because that dude.
They don't have Sparkle nor do they have Z.
Oh, here's something interesting. Sparkle's gonna be eligible for a lot more games because of the coronavirus.
Truth.
Yeah, that's true. Oh no.
Sparkle's gonna be eligible a lot sooner than we think.
May 31st.
Like there's only 1 more month with White Sparkle and then Paris and Sparkle.
Yeah, then we'll get the legendary rookie.
Okay, imagine Z comes. Imagine Z comes back from his back injury then. And they have Z and Sparkle as their DPS.
Z and Sparkle are going to be a scary DPS line. The question is, do they have enough games left to win in the season to maintain their number 8 ranking and get themselves into playoffs?
But we need to get top 12.
I think
you need to be top 12.
I know.
That's your thing. I know. Can at least win half of their games. As long as they're not going up against like a Atlanta, Philly, New York. You know what I mean?
Here's the best thing. They'll play Philly 3 times. Their Philadelphia games will be 5 of the way.
Yes.
But you still have so many teams. I mean, the Gladiators have only played 6 matches. The Titans have only played 4 matches. I mean, you have teams that have a lot of catching up to do. I mean, Vancouver has 20 matches left to play.
4 matches. They might only play 4 matches.
The team had to openly announce, "Hey, we're going to be back competing this weekend," and not this weekend, but next month. And I'm just like,
Spitfire have only played 5 matches.
That is true.
I just think it's concerning when
Soul's only played 4 matches. I mean,
well, all the Chinese teams either have played each other, all the Chinese/Korean.
Well, and that's the thing with Shanghai is I mean, I know. I mean, even like Wolf. Wolf is saying that they're going to win the championship, and that's. I mean, I don't trust anybody's opinion on Korean Overwatch more than I trust Wolf. Like that dude knows. But
Shanghai Dragon.
yes, yeah, but he knows the region. He knows the Asian region, and they're not like an all Chinese roster or anything. And
Hey,
my
Fearless is
concern
back
is
from
they've
season
played
one,
the same
guys.
3 teams over and over again. Now, that's why the game against NYXL was so telling. But yeah,
But
Yeah,
no,
I
here's
just
my
love-
no. Here is my thing again against them. All of the Chinese teams are probably top 15 teams. They haven't had to play a team like Boston. They haven't had to play like Justice Zero to Four. They haven't had to play the Toronto Defiant. They haven't had to play those easier teams. The Chinese teams are all very competitive.
Well, we don't know how good they are because
we don't know how good they are. Chengdu's looked really shaky from what we've seen. Hangzhou's looked really shaky.
Well, and what I was trying to bring up earlier is just like, do we agree that the LA Valiant are the third worst team in the league? Are they the third worst team in the league? Because I don't think so. I'd say that at least they're right around where Toronto and Hangzhou are, like 12, 13.
I don't really.
I think they're better than Houston.
Okay, they're better than Houston. I'll give you that. But they've got a couple of really niche picks. But I feel like they're really weak in their main support position. I think that Ryan is pretty weak. I feel like other than KSP, their DPS line is also kind of weak. So.
Oh, dude, the Dallas Fuel are 1 win away from jumping up to 10th.
Yep.
The league's very tight this season. Apart from the top 4, I feel like the top 4 are pretty solidified.
No, but I think Dallas Fuel have a real chance at squeaking into playoffs. I think they have a real chance.
Are you talking top 12 or top 12 or top 6?
Top
12. So,
I say top 12.
I think this would be a good part to bring up the picture you found, Airborne, just to show like everybody like the percentages of like how just good.
Yeah, it's not 100%.
I mean, it's definitely not 100% accurate, but I think that this is I think this is very nice. I think it's particularly well done for what it is. I mean, obviously, stats can be wrong and stuff like that. There is a margin for error.
And also, if you look on the right, it shows you how many matches have been played by that team. Like, Philadelphia has 10 comparatively to the London Spitfire, who has 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
let me see.
Again, we're not.
Let me see if I can bring this on my. Let me see if I can bring it on my screen. So,
you can change your cam to screen share.
Yeah. Turn on screen share real quick. Share. Yeah. So I have.
Okay, so what we're talking about here, this shows.
Yeah.
This shows how win percentage by different map type for each team.
Yep.
But I think the concern here is it's a little bit of an overgeneralization. It doesn't take into account how many games have been played, what the map pool was for that week, and who they're playing against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of Philly's things for Assault. If you're looking at Philadelphia's, Assault Escort winner. Philadelphia's Escort winner is 44%. However, they just sucked at Havana.
Right, they're just terrible at Havana.
Yeah, they had like 2 or 3 losses on Havana, so that's one of the things. I'd rather see. Oh God, I can't believe what it says. I'd rather see Knight Rider's face than Airborne's face.
It doesn't bother me none.
I'm joking.
No, so what I would like to see though is like a map by map breakdown, and like just actually, like obviously like some people are some teams are just better at certain maps, not just particularly that map type, but like certain maps, like
there
are
generalizations of maps. I don't know if you remember the London Spitfire in season 1, but they were shit.
Absolutely.
They
what I'm saying is like
so
like you don't like each team doesn't play the exact same amount of maps.
Right.
They don't play all the same games per week. So, like that has to factor into it, because like Atlanta might play, same, might play, 2 games in 1 week, and they're going to be playing the same maps that week. And if they win, say all those maps and their stats and this are going to boost up. So I mean, it is good to look at and everything like that. And
It's interesting.
Look at, obviously,
you know,
like,
You just gotta take it with a grain of
teams
salt.
that are good have good
Yeah,
map
absolutely.
percentage wins. Like it's obviously going to favor like, hey, these teams. But then you look at an average at best team like the Hangzhou Spark, who is awful on control and escort, but their hybrid is amazing and their assault is okay.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, right, okay, so you guys are very, very, shaky on the Chinese teams. Have you watched Chinese Overwatch?
It's
I
not
have.
shaky. No. That's not a good. It's not.
We just haven't seen them against the other teams.
Exactly.
Okay,
I don't think
wacky.
we're shaky against them. It's just difficult to judge because they've only played each other for the most
But
part.
have you watched Chinese Contenders? Like, the reason Gushwai stood out in Chinese Contenders is because they played, like, normally?
You damn right I've been watching Chinese Contenders because it's run by Elo Hell. It's got all my favorite casters right now.
Okay, I'm also talking, like, before, like, Gushwai, Crystal, and all these
No,
guys.
fair enough. No, I know what you mean though. Their play style is
Gushwai
so unique and so pioneering.
Like, Gushwai stood out at the World Cup because that's Gushwai's play style. Very hyper-aggressive Winston player.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen that sort of stuff since Mira.
Yeah, and then like you look at it now, it's just like teams who face the Spark legitimately go like, oh, Gushwai pulled out Winston, do everything in your power to counter that.
And
Winston.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember NYXL's dive? They're known for being cold and calculated, but their dive was so dominant. I mean, just monstrously dominant.
Are you talking about season 1?
Season 1, yeah.
I don't. Well, then I'm going to bring a better point. I'm going to bring a better point for dive. I'm going to bring up the Boston Uprising with Striker and obviously it's that Tracer Winston.
Yeah, no, that was sick. They had the perfect stage. They're the first team to go undefeated. They had the longest match win streak for longest.
Here's another one. Here's another old one. Stage 1 dive where you can bring up Shadowburn and Carpet. This is when Shadowburn was good at the game.
Yeah. I mean, but there was also a lot of trip DPS there in stage 1, and that was pioneered by the Chinese teams as well. So.
Yeah, Chinese teams just do a lot of pioneering of weird stuff. Like, they are weird. And when you're playing Chinese team versus Chinese team and they're not getting much Western experience, it's gonna be difficult to actually judge them. I think a lot of them are top 12 teams.
I don't know what happened to Knight Rider, but I don't think he's here.
Dead.
That's because my thing went back to instead of the screen.
Knight Rider broke it.
There we go. And we're back.
Okay, so this is what I predict when the Chinese teams start playing the North American team. You're just going to get games that should not make sense. You're going to get teams.
Well, like, the Chinese teams versus Chinese teams don't make sense.
True.
Yeah, no, but I feel like either the North American teams are going to get so hard thrown off by these Chinese teams that it's going to be a stomp one way or the other, or the North American teams are going to be ready for the Chinese teams, and the Chinese teams are just going to try this weird strat that just doesn't work.
When does Seoul play
It's going to be a stomp the other way. And I feel like it's here's the thing: once they start playing each other, it's just going to be fun because you may get a result that you don't expect.
I mean,
I highly doubt that you're going to get like a Shanghai losing to a Boston, but I'm talking like a mid-tier team.
I don't think that the meta is going to shake up all that much. I mean,
we have hero bills every week. It's going to shake up every week.
But yeah, that's what's deciding the meta. Not, I mean, the Chinese region's teams have. I mean, we're getting a lot of the Lucio Brig, assuming they can play it.
Actually, something that the Shanghai are very, very good at. One thing I would actually like to delve into is watching. If you watch Seoul versus Shanghai, and they both brought out the Soldier Sombra dive competition.
Yeah, Soldier Sombra. Yeah, Soldier Sombra is really becoming a thing. I was watching some Australian contenders last night, and it was a lot of Soldier Sombra.
And they were quite good at that as well. But Seoul Dynasty were like playing really aggressive, diving on these targets. I'm like, and Shanghai just took them apart because they would expose their like sort of Zenyatta and Brig on purpose. They kind of expose their Zenyatta. Soul Dynasty would just dive onto the Zenyatta and then, oh shit, the Brig's right beside him. He's armored up. You've been stunned out. The D.VA's now after you. And they peeled perfectly and executed perfectly. They ran that Soldier Sombra dive and outclassed the Soul Dynasty.
Can we also talk about the fact that Brig was brought in to kill dive and now she's completely enabling it?
Yeah, it's funny. She is like Brig, honestly, like your best dive
Yeah, Brig Lucio. That's why Brig Lucio's a thing.
Brig Lucio, and also Brig Onyx is a very good sightline.
Yeah, it's kind of map dependent, but yeah, that's exactly why Brig Lucio have become a thing. One thing I was speculating.
Brig Zen as well.
In the Female Legends tournament, which if you missed it was awesome. It was so entertaining.
It was pretty cool.
It was pretty darn awesome. I loved the Female Legends tournament. Go back and watch some VOD, support that. But we saw Echo Farah for the first time in tournament play.
Echo Farah looks pretty alright. It seems though it will be hero pool dependent on Echo Farah. Like, you're not gonna play that when hit scans are available. You're not gonna play it when Sombra's available.
And we're not gonna take this one because there's no Mercy. Like, there has to be a Mercy available as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but my main thing with Echo is she requires a lot of resources and is hard countered by a lot of heroes. But if you're playing her against the right composition, she's
I don't think she requires a lot of resources. I mean, you want to have.
She requires quite a bit.
I mean, if you throw an armor pack on her, she's good. Her escape is insane.
Yeah, what I'm talking resources is you're going to have to put, like, it's like Doomfist likes to bring resources, for example. Well, it's like an example.
But I mean, in Dive, Tracer requires resources too, which is traditionally a character that does not require a whole lot of resources. But if you're playing Dive these days, you got Armor Pack or Tracer up too. I mean, it's not. That's kind of the point of the Brig. You're not doing burst healing with Brig.
Nothing beats trying to kill a Tracer, and then you realize that she has 3 armor packs on her.
Cool. We're talking about meta right now. CC buffs went through today, or CC nerf. The only characters that have CC that did not get nerfed were Brigitte, Doomfist, and Sombra.
Yeah.
Hackfist coming back? Is that am I the only one that thinks Hackfist is coming back?
I mean, Hackfist has already been a thing. I mean, that's what Houston was running against Dallas.
But but do we think it's going to be the best?
I think it's already crept in, even without those nerfs. And those are some insane nerfs that came through. I mean, we want to talk about the patch that just came through because it is actually pretty insane.
Yeah. Every CC, apart from Brigitte, Doomfist, and Sombra, all but nerfed. So I feel like, those three characters are all very good together in a Hackfist composition. Wouldn't it just make sense that they get even more powerful when the Hackfist composition is back?
I mean, I think so. I mean, I really do think so. I mean, Earthshatter gets nerfed. May finally gets nerfed.
May's a balanced character.
No, she's still not balanced. She's still not balanced. But my thing is with that Dive, or Hackfist can be wrong with Dive, it can be wrong with Brian. Sorry, it can be wrong with a lot of different tank variations.
Yeah.
So Hackfist.
It's true.
You can't just go in like an idiot. You have to play off.
You have to play. You have to play it smart. Like, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying
there's
is
no comp. You can just run in like an idiot right now.
Goats. No.
I said now.
Goats.
Nah.
You can't run goats.
My thing is that Hackfist is pretty good. Like, I don't know if you remember when Doomfist first came out and Sombra just got her buff. Not in Overwatch League. But in the Korean contenders, Hackfist
with Doha, ironically.
Yeah.
Doha. Yeah, exactly. Doha is nuts at this video game.
Yes. Can I still stand by my fact that I think D.VA and Doha are one of the best DPS duos in the league?
When you say one of the best, where are you placing the top 5? What are you saying?
Number
7. Firmly between 8 and 9. That's what I mean, as far as duos,
1 in 100.
As far as duos, like top 3.
That's not the order. I put in my 4th, 5th usually. So I
would have said 4th. Yeah.
I was probably.
I think Flata and Lip, Carpe and Ivy are looking quite good right now.
Dude, Carpe and Ivy are stupid.
Actually, they probably are in that far. They're probably in that far.
I'm telling you, dude, D.VA and Doha are sick. D.VA is man, is he good at the game? They released interesting stats. I don't know if you saw Captain Planet released his new algorithm for how he's determining positioning. It's just fascinating thing released by Captain Planet, where it's determining core positioning of a team, how big their radius is, as far as how tight knit or spread out they play as a core, and
Decay's very spread.
Decay is number 1 on Tracer. Period.
Yeah.
Like, his numbers on Tracer are sick. I mean, put Striker to shame. Put Striker Season 1 to shame. His numbers on Tracer are absolutely batty.
Yeah.
Hey.
So here is.
Bullscum. You should tell what joke I said you should do for the Fuel jersey. when you buy a new one.
Oh, I don't know if I even want to put that out there. Oh man.
Okay, so yeah, before
Yeah,
that
we'll tell you.
happens, I would say that Decay still has probably between third and fifth. So yeah, I agree. I didn't think Decay was overrated on LA. I just thought harsh. I just think his DPS partner was short for.
Yeah. He just didn't fit, and that's not Surefour's a big brain player, but I don't think Decay.
He's not set up DPS, is he? He's not going to set up plays for your
correct, which is exactly what D.VA does. Yeah.
D.VA is just like you can have all the glory.
Like you can. You asked me at the start of the season, right? And you were like, "Who is D.VA?" I'm like, "Well, do you know Sparkle? Do you know why he looks so good because of D.VA, right?" And it's
more or less.
D.VA's always been this really good setup DPS. He reminds me a lot of Eska, who used to play for the Innocent Guy.
Yeah.
And he used to be that sort of setup DPS for Who Are You. So I think D.VA is probably the best in that sort of setup DPS category right now.
I will say, if you're reviewing for best DPS duo, don't watch Volskaya in the Battle for Texas, because they kind of shat the bed on that one.
I don't think they're as good as Carpe and Ivy, because Ivy also does that setup job very, very well.
I think Alarm is setting up both of those two a lot. I think Alarm
as well.
Yeah.
Like, my point is that as a DPS duo, Ivy is also very good at those.
Prophet fits under Decay D.VA. And then Libero at. Yeah.
And also, if I can break out any duo.
Carrot bringing this up. I think it's good questions.
Prophet and Six
also,
is better than Jinmin.
What I was going to say, a super underrated duo, especially who have come into their own, because I saw Munching's thing. BQB and Yaki have been.
Yeah.
I think they've been alright. BQB is. I've seen a little bit of a Sombra. It looks like he used to be one of the number one Sombras in the world, in my opinion. And he's looking like he's sort of adopting that setup role for Yaki.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's how you have to build your DPS duos right now. All the best teams are trying.
And then, as I thought, like D.VA was buffed up as the setup DPS, and then what was it like last week? D.VA legitimately just said, "I'm gonna carry this game."
Yeah, you have to be able to do both. I feel like that's another reason. Shanghai or something.
That's terrifying.
Flexa is your setup DPS on Shanghai. Flexa.
Yeah.
So
well, and then NYXL is brought into this conversation as well. Now,
Libero is your setup
Libero. But again, we're not talking individual performance, and I don't know, like NYXL's DPS. I mean, I don't feel like they're setting up each other that well this year.
Yeah, no, I don't think NYXL is DPS is better than D.VA. I think Shanghai's fusions are probably better. D.VA.
Shanghai Fusion, Seoul, and Dallas.
Seoul, no, I don't think Seoul's DPS line is that good. Fitz got exposed. Prophet also got exposed, and Marvel got exposed.
Yeah.
In that last game.
Super was right. Super came out with a statement on his Twitch stream, saying that one of these two teams is going to get massively exposed, but I don't want to say who it is. I mean, he did
say it. He did say this because he was like, "Yeah, Shanghai's a top 3 team." So.
Yeah, and he said one of these teams is going to get 3-0'd and totally exposed. So.
And I feel like it was a bunch of players, and I feel like both the Seoul DPS.
It's just like here's the thing: the only time I've ever seen Atlanta be dominant like they were last season, DPS wise, is Baby Bay and Erster.
Yeah,
they're a pretty good job.
No, and that's definitely a worthwhile duo. Definitely worth bringing into the conversation.
Yeah,
genuinely
set up DPS
are
and
inconsistent.
Literally just got a 5K ever. Like I think it was like week 1. Dude, who remembers like Atlanta's first game where literally Baby Bay just decided, I'm gonna kill everybody.
He just got bored. Like
yeah, he just picked up McCree and was like, I'm tired of this.
No, so my thing here is. There probably are in that 3rd to 5th category, and there probably are one. I also think Jinmu and Lee are in the category.
Jinmu and Lee are worth the conversation, and I don't think it's them that are inconsistent. I don't think it's the DPS duo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's causing that. But I agree with that. They belong in the conversation.
What do we think?
I think their coaching staffs are inconsistent this year because remember they lost REI in the offseason. REI is a pretty good coach. He was the coach of Team China in the 2018 Overwatch World Cup.
Right, where they made their big run, where they got second place.
And he also is the person that brought Otto and Fearless into Shine.
Right. So
yeah. As a prediction, so when Paris does get their basically roster, their DPS line back, where do Sparkle and Z rank in your?
They're probably in that top 8. They're in that top 8 conversation.
Yeah, but you can't say I mean, like, that's for individual performance, sure, but how are they going to mesh? Only time will tell. I mean, I think that's almost impossible to speculate at.
Well, Z.
But I'm guessing top 8. That's what I'd say.
Nico played really well together.
Yeah. I mean, Z is sick. Z is really good. I mean, that dude can play the game.
Anytime that Soon was in instead of Nico,
it looked off.
It just looked off. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love Soon. I love Soon.
Actually, but he looked off.
Soon was the very first YouTube when I first started playing Overwatch, and I was like, man, I need to look up how, I want to see some really top tier gameplay on Tracer. I want to know how I'm supposed to be playing Tracer to really make use of this character. It was Soon videos that I immediately was drawn to. I mean, it was super early on, but he was the very first pro player that I saw his videos and got attached to his gameplay and started following him and watching his stuff.
The first player I got attached to was Zumba.
Seagull was the second for Farah.
Zumba was my first.
Zumba, nice.
My first person that I looked to for Overwatch videos, ironically, to watch how they play, and I base my entire play style off of, is Space.
Yeah. Fun fact, I was on an elevator with Soon.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. It was right after they lost at the Dallas homestand, and he looked so defeated. He was on the elevator by himself, and me and my PR buddy, who's the PR guy for the Fuel, it's how I got my press pass and everything. We were just standing there on the elevator, and I knew who he was, and I was just like, oh shit, that's Soon. And my friend didn't know him, right? My friend was completely esports illiterate. I mean, he's a public relations guy. His job was to get them in front of the news cameras, to get them set up with badass press interviews, to get people out there, which he did a phenomenal job of. But he did not know anything about esports. It's part of the reason he brought me along. And he just sparks. He's like, "Hey man, so how you doing?" And he's like, "Fine." Like that was.
Poor guy.
I felt so. I didn't even talk to him. Like I couldn't even get a chance to fanboy on him and tell him how badass I thought he was, because it was just so awkward.
Can you read the story? I haven't heard since the first night that we cast together. Tell the story of your PR buddy meeting Monte Cristo, because I think this is fantastic.
This will actually feed into our next topic nicely. This will segue into our next topic nicely. So, yes, I got a press pass to go to the Dallas Fuel homestand. We stayed in the hotel where everyone is staying, and I mean literally everyone from Overwatch. Like Nate Nanzer I shook Nate Nanzer's hand and told him I thought he was doing an amazing job. Everybody was out there, and yeah, I know, right? So the Friday night before, so the game started Saturday and Sunday, so none of the fans were out there. The Friday night before, we're all hanging out at the bar across the street from the venue, which is where everybody hung out. Every night I went out there and was just sitting around with all the talent. But the very first night, so we're in there, we go to the bar just to get a drink, me and my buddy, not really expecting any of this. And Monte Cristo is up at the bar getting a drink. So we were sitting at the bar, and Monte comes in from an outside patio entrance and walks up to grab some beers. And I'm introducing or kind of pointing out people to my PR friend. I was telling him, hey, this is this person, and Monte Cristo walked in. I was like, and that's Monte Cristo. If anybody, you need to know who that guy is. This guy is an absolute pioneer for the talent of esports. He has put his job on the line to make everybody's jobs easier, to make everybody's lives better. This is a very important figure in esports, not just in Overwatch. And he's like, yeah, let's go meet him. I'm like, wait, what? What? I mean, this guy's just feeling. He's just like, yeah, let's go say hi. And I mean, and they love the Fuel, right? I mean, Monte Cristo sold his team, his League of Legends team, to Hastro. There's a tie between Monte Cristo and the Fuel, and it's so we walk over and they introduce each other, and I mean, Monty's just the nicest guy. We just strike up a conversation, and yeah, it was amazing. And Monte Cristo then invites us to come sit outside with the rest of the crew. So we go out there, and he's like, yeah, we got a table outside. Just come sit out there and hang out with us. So we go out there, and it's everybody's whose faces you've ever seen on the broadcast and people from behind the broadcast. I mean, I got to meet, if you've ever watched the Castles and Casters, I'll spit that one out eventually. You may know Tormented by Gnomes. He was hanging out there. He's like the head of the production crew. He's one of the head observers. Ashley, that you may have seen on there as well, who's now known as Uber's girlfriend, which was hilarious because I was talking to Ashley. She's head of production, or at least in production for Overwatch League, and the death stares I was getting from Uber was hilarious. I mean, he's a big, intimidating guy too. Uber's a big dude, and I was getting death stares. It was my first inkling that they were a thing. I mean, this is season 1. And I was like, that must be his girlfriend, because the death stares I was getting, and I'm just talking professional, I'm trying to network, and she was amazing. She was very understanding and very encouraging. And it's closer to my age. And so we were kind of having a conversation about how it's tough to break into esports when you're 30 plus. And she's like, yeah, everybody around me are babies. So it was a really encouraging conversation, actually, on that regard. But and so I'm out there, struck up a big conversation with Wolf. I became friends with Wolf from the Wolf and Achilleos duo. Ended up talking with him a lot over the whole weekend, and I brought up a game idea. So this was kind of meant to kill goats. Was really part of the idea behind it as we were going into the next year. And this is into season 2, not season 1, excuse me. And it was, I brought up a game idea where you would change the objectives to where it wasn't, where you would change the purpose of your tanks. And Wolf was just super impressed. I struck up this big conversation. So he brings me over to Sideshow, Reinforce, and Bryn. And we just have like a 20-minute conversation between all of us on this like game type idea. Like Reinforce gave me his email and was like, email, write it out for me, email it to me. I'll bring it up to Jeff Kaplan. It was, yeah, seriously. It was a really, really neat, I mean, it was the most amazing weekend I've ever had. I mean, that's where I ended up on the elevator with Sood. I mean, I met Lemon Kiwi before anybody knew who the hell she was. Sat and talked to Jane, just sitting there having a beer with Jane. Jane and like one of the guys from the big Overwatch guy from esports, from ESPN's esports division. We sat around and had a big conversation one of the 3 nights. But yes, so this segues into our new game mode ideas.
Yes.
Again.
So,